Welcome to Psych with Sigmund, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world of psychology and its relevance to our everyday lives. Today we're going to delve into one of the most enduring debates in psychology, the nature versus nurture debate. This concept has been at the heart of psychological inquiry for centuries, and it's essential to understand how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are shaped by both genetic and environmental factors. In simple terms, this debate revolves around the question of whether our traits, abilities, and behaviors are primarily determined by our genetic makeup, nature, or by our environment and life experiences, nurture. This is not a straightforward either-or proposition. Rather, it's a complex interplay between the two factors. The nature versus nurture debate has its roots in ancient Greece, where philosophers like Plato and Aristotle debated the role of genetics versus environment in shaping human behavior. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that this concept became a central theme in psychology. Researchers like Francis Galton and John B. Watson made significant contributions to our understanding of the nature versus nurture debate, with Galton emphasizing the importance of genetics and Watson advocating for the role of environment. One of the key psychological theories that explains the nature versus nurture debate is the concept of epigenetics. Epigenetics suggests that environmental factors can affect gene expression without altering the DNA sequence itself. This means that our genes are not fixed at birth, but rather they can be influenced by our experiences and surroundings. For example, studies have shown that maternal care in rodents can affect the expression of genes involved in stress regulation, which in turn affects the offspring's behavior. Another important theory is the concept of neuroplasticity, which suggests that our brain structure and function can change in response to experience. This challenges the idea that our brains are fixed at birth and highlights the role of environment in shaping our cognitive abilities. Research has shown that London taxi drivers, who must memorize complex maps to navigate the city, develop a larger hippocampus, a region of the brain involved in spatial memory. The famous twin and adoption studies conducted by Thomas Bouchard and his colleagues provide compelling evidence for the role of genetics in shaping personality traits. These studies found that identical twins reared apart showed remarkable similarities in their personalities, despite being raised in different environments. However, these studies also highlighted the importance of environmental factors, as the twins' personalities were not identical. On the other hand, research on the effects of poverty and socioeconomic status on cognitive development provides strong evidence for the role of nurture. Studies have shown that children from low-income backgrounds tend to perform poorly on cognitive tests due to limited access to resources and opportunities. However, interventions such as early childhood education programs can significantly improve cognitive outcomes, highlighting the importance of environmental factors. So, how can understanding the nature versus nurture debate help us in our everyday lives? For one, it can inform our approach to personal growth and development. By recognizing that our traits and abilities are not fixed at birth, we can seek out experiences and environments that help us develop and improve. This might involve pursuing new hobbies or interests, seeking out mentors or role models, or simply being more mindful of the company we keep. In therapy, understanding the nature versus nurture debate can also inform our approach to treatment. Rather than simply trying to change a person's behavior or thoughts, therapists can work with clients to identify and address underlying genetic and environmental factors that may be contributing to their mental health issues. This might involve techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns, as well as family therapy, which can help families understand and address environmental factors that may be affecting their relationships. To illustrate this concept in action, consider the case of a child who is struggling with anxiety. From a nature perspective, we might look at the child's genetic predisposition to anxiety disorders or examine the role of neurochemical imbalances in regulating their mood. However, from a nurture perspective, we might explore the child's environment and identify potential triggers for their anxiety, such as bullying at school or conflicts at home. By taking a holistic approach that considers both nature and nurture, therapists can develop more effective treatment plans that address the complex interplay between genetic and environmental factors. By recognizing the complex interplay between genetic and environmental factors, we can gain a deeper understanding of human development, behavior, and mental health. As my colleague in the field, Daniel Kahneman, once said, "The idea that our thoughts and behaviors are shaped by both nature and nurture is not just a theoretical concept, it's a fundamental aspect of the human experience." In addition to its implications for personal growth and therapy, understanding the nature versus nurture debate can also inform our approach to social policy and education. By recognizing the importance of environmental factors in shaping cognitive abilities and personality traits, we can develop more effective interventions aimed at promoting social mobility and reducing inequality. So, what are the takeaways from this debate? Firstly, it's essential to recognize that our traits, abilities, and behaviors are shaped by both genetic and environmental factors. Secondly, understanding the interplay between nature and nurture can inform our approach to personal growth, therapy, and social policy. Finally, by embracing the complexity of this debate, we can develop a more nuanced and compassionate understanding of human behavior and development. By exploring the latest research findings and theoretical perspectives, we can gain a deeper understanding of how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are shaped by both genetic and environmental factors. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Psych with Sigmund. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to discuss, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.